Hey guys, Dislitter Magic here, and I thought that Wizards just plumb forgot to do the live stream today, but I don't know if they delayed it on purpose because of the Mars rover landing thingy, which, by the way, I totally watched live along with about 1.9 million people. But regardless, about, 30 minutes after it touched down, they decided to start their stream. Makes sense. I didn't catch it live and I actually didn't have time to watch it yet, but they do have the first bit of information posted to Daily MTG, compliments of Blake Rasmussen. And by the way, if you're like, why should I watch this? I already read the article. Did you know that there's got to be 5 different pre-release kits? If you read the article, you don't know that. This ain't your average spoiler video for Strixhaven, okay? We do things a little different on this channel, but back to Blake in the meantime. So he says, welcome students! In just a few weeks, class will be in session at the prestigious Strixhaven School of Mages. Oh, they're reopening even with COVID. That's going to be very controversial. And we're so glad you've chosen to begin your mystical studies with us. You represent the best and brightest the multiverse has to offer, and we represent all the knowledge one could possibly hope to learn as a blossoming mage practicing your magecraft. Didn't Tolarian College blow up like 4 times? I gotta say, in the Harry Potter world, I feel like in every book or movie they should have at least blown up part of the school at least annually because of all the people getting spells wrong and experimental, new spells people are trying to develop and all that. It was surprisingly calm. For Strixhaven though, oh, we'll see. So as a new student, you'll be joining one of our 5 colleges based on your aptitudes and desired areas of study. It's important to choose a college that fits you, and today we're here to help you on that journey. Oh boy, a reveal of the 5, let's be honest, houses. So let's take a tour of our prestigious colleges and learn a little bit about each. Don't worry, orientation will cover more of this in detail later. Wow, they're going hard on this. In March, when you arrive on campus. For now, take a look around you and see what strikes your intellectual curiosity. If we have time, we may even peek at our vast library of spells. Ooh, from the first... Could somebody please direct me to the English 101 class? Anyway, it says, if we have time, we may even peek at our vast library of spells from the furthest reaches of magic in our biblioplex. Ooh. Es la misma como una biblioteca, pero diferente. Because Latin sounds fancy. Everybody knows Latin is magic. You say anything in Latin, just instantly demon summon right behind you. All right, so first up, the colleges. Each of our colleges was founded by the elder dragon whose name each school bears. Already like it better than Harry Potter. The houses in Hogwarts were founded by 4 douchebags that we know next to nothing about, and they all hated each other. These were founded by dragons, which in the best... fantasy books, is pretty much how every cool magic school is founded, at least the really elite ones. Our founders were paragons of magic and knowledge, and each school strives to match its founders' vision and magical aptitudes. You won't be meeting the founders today. Are they even still alive? I'm going to assume they are. But with any amount of luck, they may show up at orientation. I gotta say, lesser dragons, they can probably live for like 200, 300, 400 years or something. Depends upon the realm, the lore, and whatever inconsistency magic decides to put into a certain story. But elder dragons, that's like thousands of years scale is my understanding. So I guess they're still around. They're in the plains somewhere. We all knew this was going to be some cool crap, right? You're all on the same page with me. My hype level could not be higher. And once again, to reiterate, not for the state of standard after this releases. My God, I can't even imagine, but just for the lore. And you never know, the draft environment, the art, whatever. So first up, we've got a dorky looking elephant with dorky looking glasses and completely cut off tusks. And that would be Lorehold. Okay, a hold is a place, and so Lorehold would be like a place where you hold lore, and that was the dragon's name? That's I just had a kid and I'm gonna name him Split Level Ranch. What? Oh, that's a style of house architecture here in America. You probably haven't heard that term if you're outside America. So I guess they're saying is leave no stone unturned, and yeah. At least when it comes to looking for loot, and me in any game or D&D. Although if you've ever seen my XL3 gameplay, I'm going after every spell. If there's even a hint of somebody who might teach me a spell, I am looking through the entire place. I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to fat people passed out in the middle of a tavern because they might have a spell for me. I mean, literally, the Inn of Blades. Go there. You can learn some spell. I don't remember. So yes, overturn all of the stones, damn it. So loreholds are diligent researchers and daring adventurers, passionate scholars obsessed with history. Oh, now you've lost me. Okay, so history was my least favorite subject. They explore the past by poring over archaeological artifacts. Now you brought me back. I like artifacts, especially old ones, especially powerful ones. And summoning long dead spirits. Could take it or leave it. I mean, I never got too much into necromancy in any game, really, except for my level 25 epic Draco Lich. For some students, the past is a rich tapestry worthy of disciplined study, while others wear that tapestry like a cape as they jump down into a forgotten tomb. Hell yeah! Tomb Raider, boy, gotta get that loot! So their motto is, leave no stone unturned. Here's an example of powerful lorehold magic, and that's right, it's the lorehold spell, rare. Ooh, I actually forgot how cool that set symbol looked. Let's be honest, it's Hedwig. But lorehold command. Oh, did I call it or did I call it? Multimodal spells. I mean, I think I literally called it yesterday. You can't not remember it. I said they're absolutely for sure in my speculation video going to add highly modal decision-based spells, if not outright minigames. Woo! 1 for 1, baby. 1 for 1. So choose 2 of the following. Create a 3/2 red and white spirit creature token. Okay. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain indestructible and haste until end of turn. That's pretty tasty. I mean, it's 5 mana, but that's still pretty tasty. Lorehold command deals 3 damage to target. Target player gains 3 life. Okay, nice. And then finally, sacrifice a permanent, then draw 2 cards. I feel like it should have said non-token, but okay. There's not that many tokens in the game right now, so, you know, you might maybe be forced to lose something you kind of like with a speculative little shot at 2 more cards. I've got to say, sack and draw is almost purely black and green, and then card draw at all is typically blue. So to see red-white card draw off of a sack effect, that's kind of odd. So pretty good spell there. Not dangerously drastically overpowered. I mean, that free swing away mixed with lifelink is going to be pretty nuts. I like it, so let's move on to Prismari, where a simple water balloon fight might turn into flaming water blasts. So when it comes to any set with wizards, this is the problem combination as far as colors go, so express yourself with the elements. Just give me some weirds. I like weirds. So Prismari are the theater kids of Strixhaven. I hate them. I already hate them. I can't stand theater kids. Just imagine you're trying to learn magic, you go to this school, you probably pay really high tuition, who knows, I mean, if dragons run it, I mean, come on, they're all about hordes. And then you go with Prismari, and your entire class is Matt Pat from Game Theory. Actor wannabes that all think they're the greatest and cannot take 1 ounce of criticism. Ugh, unbearable. Anyway, it says in magic is how they express themselves. Oh boy, I love the artsy types. Their spells could be spectacles of raw creativity or meticulous artistic expressions. All the world's a stage, and whether their art is informed by mind or emotion, Prismari always leave a lasting impression. Their motto is express yourself with the elements. Here is an example of a powerful Prismari magic. Oh, it's like part of a cycle. I get that. Cool. So this one's way cheaper. It's a 3-cost multimodal pick 2 out of 4 instant. So choose 2. The first is draw a quick sketch with a pencil on a post-it note. Ask your opponent if they like it. If they do not, you win the game, because you just flipped the table over. Oh, sorry, I misread that. It actually says Prismari command deals 2 damage to any target. Okay, nice, a little overpriced shock spell, but I mean, you get 2 things. Target player draws 2 cards, then discards 2 cards. Okay. Target player creates a treasure token. Okay, so we'll see that. I mean, dragons run the school. Wizards love treasure. Adventurers love treasure. I could see it. And then destroy target artifact. So yeah, those are some definite blue and red effects right there. So kind of neat, kind of tame. Definitely a very, very nice spell to draft. Although, I mean, you'd have to be playing these colors. So 2 color rares. I mean, first of all, it's a rare. It's not going to show up in your draft pack. And then secondly, what are the odds by the time it gets to you, you're running these 2 colors? But other than that, fantastic draft card. So next up, we've got Quadrix. I'll bet you right now that's Teferi's daughter, although I don't remember if him having a daughter is canon or not. So Quadrix is green-blue, which, interestingly enough, is the ingenious math magicians. They study patterns, fractals, and symmetries to command power over the fundamental forces of nature. When it comes to natural magic, everybody knows 2 + 2 equals boulder. And not just any boulder, boulder flying at your face. What's the square root of 9? The answer is summon bear. I've got to say, arithmancy or arithnomancy or whatever it was called in Harry Potter was never very defined, but it was also not terribly respected in the books from what I heard. So I think we know which college here people are going to be making fun of. But they'll solve a Rubik's Cube while contemplating the metaphysical properties of the universe and can recite every number of pi backwards. Oh, I get it, because you can't do that because it has no endpoint, so you wouldn't have a start point. Very funny. Their motto is, math is magic. Here's an example of a powerful Quadrix magic. Wait, didn't they say the last one was powerful? Yeah, they did. Yeah, it wasn't. So this one's a 3 cost, obviously double modal, rare instant, same thing. So mode 1, return target creature or planeswalker to its owner's hand. Okay. Mode 2, counter target artifact or enchantment spell. Very nice to have a very narrow situational counter spell, but then have 3 other options, because otherwise it's a dead card nobody would play. They really need to do that more often, and that goes double for counter spells that are already 2 color to make it even more narrow. Number 3, put 2 1/1 counters in target creature. Very, very nice, especially for 3 mana. And then target player shuffles up to 3 target cards from their graveyard into their library. I've never understood that, unless you're going to go seek it again, which means that you're running some stupid glass cannon gimmicky dumb combo crap that probably isn't even a standard deck. What is the point? The sheer odds of you running into that card again are nearly nothing. Let's say there's 45 cards left in your library by the time you put 3 back and use this, which, that sounds about reasonable. You have a 1 in 15 shot of pulling one of those. Or in other words, ignoring hypergeometric distribution, which you wouldn't, it would take you about 15 turns, I should say, to pull one of those cards again. The game's not going to go on for 15 more turns, and with hypergeometric distribution, it's probably closer to 12, but still. Yes, I know I sound like I'd join Quadrix. Let's be honest, I would. Patterns and math are my thing. I am obsessed with them. Why do you think I initially went into software engineering? Also, I used to be a math tutor at my college. So this is a pretty spicy spell. I could see people running this in just like a generic, okay, whatever, not too tight deck. Because there's no central point to this, but it's just good. A counter spell plus a counter dropper, I think, would be the 2 people would focus on if they had to, put it in a very specific deck. But yeah, this is a good spell. Next up, we got Silver Quill. Oh, good. The emo vamp kids who dress in black leather and think they're cooler than they are. So, Silver Quills wield the magic of words. Oh no, it's the Bard School! No! I hate bards! Everybody knows in D&D campaigns, I'll be honest with you, before 3.5, if you were like a fighter or a paladin, the best tactic in battle, if things are getting tight, is to hide behind the pile of dead bards. They were freaking useless. In 5th edition, my god, you might as well just run 6 bards. So from inspiring battle poetry to biting arcane insults, that I'd be into, stylish, intimidating, and tirelessly competitive, these mages are born leaders with a razor-sharp wit and natural charisma that can be used for good or for ill. Their motto is sharp style, sharper wit. Here is an example of powerful Silver Quill magic from these edgelords. Alright, so it's a 4 cost. We got choose 2. Target creature gains +3/+3 and gains flying until end of turn. That's pretty damn powerful. It is a 4 cost. Oh, and it's sorcery speed, not instant. So keep that in mind. Number 2, return target creature card with mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Hallelujah, and thank God they finally put a limit on resurrecting directly from the graveyard. It's about damn time. Number 3, target player draws a card and loses 1 life. Okay. And then 4th, target opponent sacks a creature. Very nice. None of those are like hyper overpowered. The first one's kind of flirting with that, but okay. But let's be honest, I'm pretty sure Mighty Leap is like 2 mana. Might be 3, definitely not 4. But yeah, this just looks solid. Once again, I would love to have this in a draft, but that's not realistic to count on. In Constructed, I don't know. Would I put this in Clerics or Angels? Angels probably not. Clerics, I could see it. Maybe a 1 of. I don't know. The power level, the bar is so ridiculously high in Standard right now that really good, solid, fun, interesting cards like this would just get completely ignored potentially because there's just such broken stuff right now that just doesn't need something that costs 4 that doesn't virtually end the game instantly. Hell, we have stuff that costs 2 that does that. Would I rather have this or Luminarch Aspirant that costs 2? Is that even a real question? So finally we've got Witherbloom, which is of course the Golgari ripoff college. And oh my god, their motto, that's pretty good. So Witherblooms are goth bio majors. Oh no, you're telling me that 2 of them are goth emo kid colleges? 2 out of 5, really? Anyway, they draw power from the essence of living beings. Whether that means enhancing nature or exploiting it, Witherbloom mages are most at home riding zombie crocs. I mean, it would have to be pretty big. That'd be a pretty low to the ground bumpy ride unless it's an above average croc. Anyway, picking herbs for potions. I always get into alchemy. Come on, I love that. And hanging out in their swamp making grim jokes. Sure. Their motto is get your hands dirty. Here's an example of powerful Witherbloom magic. So this is also a sorcery, but it's a 2 cost. Choose 2, of course. Target player mills 3 cards, then you return a land card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. Destroy target non-creature, non-land permanent with mana value. Mana value? Mana value? What the hell is that? Anyway, 2 or less. I'm starting to think that as part of the rule change involving Cascade and CMCs, they're finally gonna stop calling it a CMC. Because most people call the spell cost on the stack the CMC. That's just, if I'm not mistaken, even I could be getting this wrong, the MC. That is the mana cost of the spell. But then some things refer to the card while the spell is on the stack, and it gets confusing. So if they're just gonna say mana value, I could get behind that. I don't like the whole we're retroactively changing every card ever, except haha funny, we can't do that, they're paper, it doesn't work that way. But okay, I mean maybe mana value is something completely different, I don't know. That's interesting. Mode 3 is target creature gets -3, -1 until end of turn. I was about to say that's nice, except this is sorcery speed. Yeah, that takes it down a peg. And then 4th, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. So nothing real special in there unless this sets up some kind of graveyard thing, which, let's be honest, I'm sure it will. Well, probably just more fuel for Death Touch, which I think they need to get rid of immediately. So finally, they say Mystical Archive. Oh, I'm already seeing something, and I bet I know what this is. Oh, are you ready for this? I could be wrong. Oh, hell, I'll throw them up on screen so you can follow along. Are these a showcase frame, or are these going to be masterpieces, aka like expeditions, and I thought I'd remember what the rest are called. Invocations, that was one, right? You know, the hyper rare $200, $300, $400 cards that you get like one every 3rd box or whatever, every other box. Well, what the hell, let's read it. So, Mystical Archive. Whatever area you study, or wait, whatever area of study, seriously, somebody direct me to the English basics class. Whatever area of study you should choose, you will have access to our vast library of resources with spells and knowledge spanning all of magic. Some spells are certainly too dangerous and powerful even for careful mages. Told you they're going to blow the place up. But at Strixhaven, we value knowledge above all else and thus have a library of historical spells to rival any other. Oh, they're setting it up for masterpieces. I know it. This collection, housed in what we call our Mystical Archive, contains a litany of spells from simple mind spells to powerful and deadly spells. Most shudder to look at. Shudder to look at? Look at that demonic tutor. I don't shudder to look at. I'm going to get that artwork tattooed on my left man boob. So these spells are, of course, housed in their biblioplex, and lucky us, Professor Onyx happens to be sifting through several tomes right here with students Rowan and Will. Oh, good, they're not instructors, they're students. Can you imagine? Although I've said they're basically just the front guy from Wham and then the female version of probably somebody else from Wham. It's an 80s band. Ask your parents. So anyway, normally only students get a look, but we'll make an exception for today. Wait, wasn't the whole context of this whole article that we're students? Or I guess we haven't started orientation yet, so we're not? We're just applicants? I don't... They went a little weird with that one. The metaphor is getting a little complex. Well, that first one, Demonic Tutors, says STA in the bottom for the 3-letter code, and then it's number 27063. I don't think either of those are in line with masterpieces. I could be wrong, and if I'm not mistaken, they made a change to how those are printed. But you know what? Let's just read here. Additionally, since we have a significant portion of foreign language students, the Mystical Archives is available in all languages, which was, by the way, not the case with masterpieces. But we have something additional and special for our Japanese students. That's racist. To learn more and see more, visit here later today. And then they link to the MTG Japanese page, and it just says not found. Okay, well, I guess it's not quite later enough today. In fact, it's almost tomorrow Japan time, so whoever wrote that wasn't really thinking too hard. I'm sure we have many questions about the Mystical Archive and how you can access it. Please save your questions for the end of the tour. We'll hand out a pamphlet with more details on the Mystical Archive below. Oh, then they link to an actual anchor tag lower on the article. That's pretty funny. I'm just going to skip to it then. Mystical Archive details. Naturally, the wonders of our biblioplex draw the most attention, and with good reason. We have a vast library of spells from throughout space and time, and we'll be granting access to 63 of these. So, okay, 63, and the STA are just, they're from Strixhaven. But my guess is they're probably also Masterpiece. That's a high number. I think the highest we ever saw was like 35 or 38 or something, and they're just about doubling that, but okay. And I kind of skimmed this. It looks like they basically confirmed it. So they say, these spells come from across time, so their inclusion in the Mystical Archive does not affect their format legality. That means no demonic tutor in your standard tournaments. But if you open one in draft, tutor away, which, my God, somebody opened up a Masterpiece, Mana Vault? Whatever one does a lot of damage to you. And he threw it in because, it was the pre-release, and he lost probably a third of his games because of it. He didn't seem to care because that was like a $200 card. It was pretty funny though. I think he eventually took it out for round 4. So yes, that is how the rules work. So yeah, these are just basically masterpieces. I can't believe the word masterpiece did not come up anywhere, even as just parentheses where they could say, yes, these are masterpieces, but I don't know. They're not labeled as such. I thought that masterpieces were like, I don't remember. Like, I thought they had their own set symbol. I could be completely way off on that. I could check them all individually, but I don't remember what sets they were in. But they did make a change on the density here. So I think that's why they want some separation, because it says the Mystical Archive is open to all and you'll receive 1 copy in each draft booster. Wow. And each set booster, and at least 3 of them in each collector booster. Okay, so these are not going to be like $100 reprints, I'm telling you right now. Okay, so right now the cheapest demonic tutor that you can buy is about $50, which is interesting. Opt, I don't even have to look it up, it's 25 cents. I think that art might bring it all the way up to 35 cents. And then we got Swords to Plowshares, which has really dropped in price lately due to aggressive reprinting and more powerful replacements, to be perfectly honest. But still, the cheapest one right now is $3, and that's Conspiracy. The IMA one is also $3. Then you go way back to like Anthologies, it's $3.50. For some reason, Battle Bond is $3.50. I could see this version being $5 minimum. So my guess is Demonic Tutor, and then like 1 or 2 others are going to be the big jackpot one, and then the rest are just going to be like whatever, just some kind of staple that Commander players might go after. So definitely not like, here's, 25 masterpieces and 20 of them are worth above $50, which has been the case with other ones in the past. I am glad they brought it back. I've been wanting them to do that. That's no secret for a while now. And I said, their reasoning that they publicly stated, this is not a suspicion, they stated this themselves. So their reason for getting rid of them were they were running out of worthwhile cards and they didn't want people to open like a $12 masterpiece. So just like, we'll give it a rest, whatever. And I said, and everybody collectively said, so just pick 10 cards from the set. Like the Gear Hulks. Like they already made into Inventions. Just all the Planeswalkers right off the bat, all the main characters right off the bat, either or, Legendary or Planeswalker. Some kind of cycle of 5, or just pick 5 different colors of Mythics, and there you go. I mean, just print the Mythics. Just pick all 15 Mythics and make them, a special whoop-de-doo frame, and then if the card takes off, great. I mean, you'd still have the problem with somebody opening like an $8 garbage Mythic that nobody wants, and now it's in Masterpiece form, so it's $8 instead of 50 cents. But it still has the best shot at it because it's the best card. And if people just kind of get used to setting their sights and their expectations a little bit lower, I don't see why they shouldn't just keep doing that. So hopefully this is a pattern. I mean, I doubt it. They'll probably drop it for the next set. But in my opinion, they shouldn't. I think every set should have ultra rares because anytime they want to do something that adds value to the box without making you, as in forcing you to buy it, I'm all for it. Because then it's just the whales, the collectors, the rich people, they can subsidize the box. They can be responsible for, I believe 19% of the value is what masterpieces typically were. And that doesn't affect me because I can buy the cheapy version of the spell if I need it. Simple. I mean, what's wrong with that? That's why I kept saying I don't have a problem with like the reprint sets and all that because nobody has to buy them. Even Secret Lairs, they're all reprints, with one exception. So nobody has to buy them, so I don't care. I'm not being forced to buy them in order to play the game, to play standard. But I just like the product in general for other reasons, like they don't cut in stores at all. So if they want to do these pretty fancy frames and people are like, oh, I want these, but I can't afford them. Okay, great. You probably also can't afford like $1,000 or $100,000 car. Or like, yeah, wouldn't it be nice to have a $5,000 security system in your house, but you can't afford it? There's a lot of things that would be nice that you want that you can't afford. Welcome to life. So yeah, I'm all for this. It'll add value, and it doesn't just add value to the box, it displaces value. So anytime they do some big fancy alternate pull thing, which I know, yeah, the collector's booster is going to throw this way off as it always does. It takes all the other rares and mythics and knocks them down a little bit to make them more affordable because people will open a box until it's not profitable. And so if you got this extra padding of 10 to 20% with these ultra rare cards, even though there's one per booster, so they're not ultra rare, that's going to make room for the rest of the cards to drop a little bit more. And that's good news for you if you want to just play the game. So that's the whole thing about these. Big topic to talk about, but let's keep going, I guess. We've got this interesting artwork. Boy, I hope that's not a campus mapper. I'm already lost. I mean, they don't even have like a You Are Hair on there. And then finally they're like warning you that they're now gonna break character because everybody knows, like if you're even at those like historical recreation places, you do not break character. I don't care if somebody gets their leg cut off in a threshing machine. You don't break character. To get out your cell phone and call 911, damn it. So they wanted to warn people the whole you're a student at Hogwarts. Okay, now we're going to break that. So if you want to keep living in this delusion, then don't read past this. Okay, I'm going way too hard on this. I'm a little confused because they just jump right into Commander 2021 edition. It says there will be 5 Commander decks, 1 for each school. So is this not just going to be like cheapy $20, $30, we made some things instead of Planeswalker decks? Or is this literally Commander 2021, as in it's the product called that? They seem to be saying that. So it says it features 81 new cards in 5 Commander decks? That seems low, although they might have put in some, good value reprints. I don't know. Is that low? Is that not low? I don't know. I don't buy that product. So each deck will focus on the colors and themes of its associated college. So, okay. The decks are named Silver Quill Statement, Prismari Performance, Witherbloom Witchcraft, Lorehold Legacies, and Quantum Quadrix. They say we can't quite show you the face cards, aka the commanders, since they contain secrets about Strixhaven, not quite ready for the outside worlds. In other words, they'll disclose mechanics and characters. We'll be introducing you to the leaders of those decks come orientation day. I bet it's just going to be the 5 dragons. I mean, it could be teachers, but it could be the dragons, or it could be a mix. Should be interesting regardless. They do say, what we can tell you is that you'll notice some differences with the packaging for Commander decks, starting with Strixhaven, as part of a larger push towards moving away from plastic packaging. Oh yeah, they actually totally got people whining and complaining about that like a couple weeks ago, and I bet they were all sock puppet shills who were like creating controversies so it could look like Wizards listened and reacted, when we all know these were printed before the complaints came up. So no joke, like the absolute whiny hipster douchebags were like, why isn't it recyclable? And that got, I don't know, like 50 upvotes or something. And like, it was all a fake campaign so that they could drum up support for them introducing this. So that's pretty manufactured and pretty transparent in my opinion. So they say Commander decks available through your local game store will use reduced plastic packaging. Only the wrapper around the cards themselves will be plastic. Okay, and we're working on updating that too. God, what is it going to be, like rice paper? I mean, I wouldn't mind eating it. That would be pretty cool. It's just, people use plastic for a reason, just saying. So we'll share more as we get closer, but we're excited to roll out this updated packaging. I gotta say, waxed paper is actually fairly durable and fairly waterproof. Think like baking sheets. Personally, with what I know about this kind of stuff, which is more than you might think based on some of my old jobs, that's the first place I would go. I mean, other than that, Mylar is a plastic product, and if you just wrap them in plain aluminum, that's just wasteful and stupid. Aluminum mining is terrible, and it melts at 1400 degrees, so processing it is insanely bad for the environment. There aren't many other options, and we all know how paper packaging went for, what was that, MM2? It was glued shut, which, yeah, glue compounds aren't that great for the environment either, just saying. And you could just cut them open with a knife and then reseal them with heat. it was not a good situation. Stores were cheating their customers. Everybody on eBay was cheating their customers. It was bad. So anyway, we got the Strixhaven packaging. So that's the weird like brown and earth tone box. It's kind of wacky looking. Usually you want it to be bright and attention grabbing. I'm actually kind of surprised. We got the Wonder Twins from Wham there. And then on the boosters, we have the, I guess, star students, unless these the whole time were the teachers. That's something to think about. And then we've got the, what is that, the set booster? I can't even identify these by look. Yep, set booster. Okay. Well, that's awfully small. Can't really see what's going on, but I mean, they did zoom up on this. Looks like somebody's fighting some lich, some kind of undead person, or some kind of wizard in a mask or something. And there's only 4 of them fighting, it looks like, which means that they're probably fighting the one remaining college, and that would be the get your hands dirty earthy people from the swamp, I would guess, but maybe presuming a little bit. The set boosters are 12 cards. I don't know if they always were. That's interesting. Cool. And then we've got the theme boosters. Don't buy them. They're awful. They're a terrible value, and they're basically just a Walmart product. And then we've got the bundle. Strangely, they're not showing off the collector's boosters. Must be something on there they don't want us to see yet. Oh, sorry, I did it again. I accidentally called it a bundle. That's a fat pack. Jeez, get it right, Des. Well, just because it's not in the article doesn't mean I can't get my hands on it, so I present to you the collector's booster. Yeah, something important's probably going on in that artwork. Don't know what. I could see why they had to keep that a secret, as I go secretly get it off a different website. I'm going to back up a hair because I just realized those are completely new characters on the theme boosters, so, I mean, nobody I recognize, but I think that's the point. I think they're going to do a lot of new people. I wouldn't be too surprised to see like a member of the Gatewatch teaching there or something. That would be, you know, kind of like a little twist they would totally do, but I don't mind new characters either. Speaking of new characters, it looks like we're going the full diversity spectrum here. The 5 major races of, I'm just guessing here, by the way, Asian, crazy-haired white guy, African-American, and owl and bear are represented here. It's about time my fellow owl folk are shown. I feel so represented. I'll be honest with you, she actually looks Native Alaskan. Oh, and let's circle back to this one. There's going to be 5 different pre-release kits, which you might remember they did in the very recent past. I don't remember what it was. Was it, it was one of the Ravnica sets, wasn't it? I don't know. That doesn't sound right, but it seems right, because I thought I played Orzhov. But anyway, you had to, like, pick, and then if you wanted a real particular one, like, you had to, I don't know, make a deal with the store owners. It just kind of was a bad thing, and it seemed like the same colors kept winning, and everybody was really just looking for one, like, pre-release foil stamped chase card, because it was worth, like, a mountain of money. I don't remember what it was, but, yeah, just not having everybody start on the same level playing field was kind of bad, but then again, if you get a good pack or a bad pack, and they're all the same anyway, that's kind of just how pre-release goes, so it wasn't like the end of the world, but I don't know. If you guys remember, what do you think? I mean, I didn't like it, but some people did. If you wanted to play your choice of whatever the hell it was, guild or whatever, okay, but like I said, if the rest of the packs, if the rares and the power uncommons and commons didn't support whatever the main promo was, you're in trouble. And a lot of people, they would crack one open and be like, well, the support for those colors isn't going to happen, and then play a completely different color than their pre-release kit was. So yeah, but structured play isn't really going on anywhere, so okay, that makes it even less of a big deal, I guess. I don't even know what to think about this, but just in general, it didn't really work and they shouldn't have done it. That's all I got to say about that. That's all we got for now. I'll maybe go suffer through the 52-minute live stream VOD. Oh, God. I already know if I'm watching a 50-minute video, it's going to be while I'm sorting cards, which I also kind of hate. So might as well just do 2 things I hate at once and watch them just attempt to out-cringe each other with pre-written jokes that somebody approved. So anyway, yeah, I'm pretty amped about this. Everything I've seen so far looks frickin' amazing. I'm sure once actual spoilers start, it's going to be something. I'm glad they almost revived masterpieces. Getting 1 per booster, I wouldn't say ruins it, but it's definitely different. Hey, let me know what you think about all this stuff and any other details that you gathered from various sources down in the comments section. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.